Mrs. Boyle. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm going to be your nurse today. What I want to be able to do is to get you onto our cardiac monitor. Is that okay? Great. The first thing I'm going to do though is I just want to confirm your identification. See where Margaret Boyle, is that correct? And your birthday is September 21st. Right, and I just want to look at your medical record number there. That's great. So what I'm going to have to do in order to do this is I'm going to have to pull your gown down to expose your chest, and I'm going to put 5 stickers in various locations on your chest. Is that okay? Great. So I'm going to start by cleaning the area and drying it. All right? So I'm going to pull your gown down now. Hopefully this water isn't too cold. Then I'm just going to dry this off a little bit. I'll start by putting this one on your right arm. Arm. And just one more. Back up. Just gonna look at your monitor real quick. I'm just changing your alarms here so this doesn't beep any more than it has to. There we go. You have your call bell there. I'll come back and check on you, but if you need anything, just let me know. Take care now. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Hawley. I'm faculty with the Critical Care Nursing Program at RMPDC based in Halifax. And what you just watched was me going through the process of connecting a patient to a cardiac monitor. What I would like to take the opportunity to do now is actually slow that down a little bit and show you step by step the things that I did to connect the patient. So the first thing you want to be able to do is introduce yourself to the patient and confirm their identification. What you saw me do was use the patient's armband and label to confirm their identification. So I was able to do that. The next thing that's really important to do is build a little bit of a rapport with your patient, because as you saw, you do have to expose the patient's chest. So introduce yourself to the patient, explain to them what it is that you're going to be doing before you actually get in there and start pulling their gown down. So once you've done that, you want to get your material ready. So you want to start with your electrodes. There is an expiry date on these, so make sure that they haven't expired. And you're going to take out 5 of them, and once you get them out, label date and initial them, because they are good for about 24 to 48 hours depending on your institutional policy, and you can degrade the quality of your ECG tracing if they start to dry out a little bit. So then you want to prep the patient's skin, so pull their gown down, and using just plain simple soap and water, you're able to clean that skin to increase the adherence of the electrodes to the patient's skin. So give them a wash over the areas that you'll be applying the electrodes. And then after you've cleaned the area, you want to dry it. So you can use a towel or use gauze. You just want to get rid of all those dead skin cells. Okay, so give a nice little wipe there, using a little bit of pressure. Then you want to take your leads, and no matter what you do, they will always be tangled. And then connect your electrodes to each one of the leads. So although your facility may have leads that look a little bit different than this, they are color coded, and they're also labeled. Sometimes the labels are a little bit hard to see, but for instance, the white one has RA for right arm. So that's where I'm going to start. So just like on your checklist, the right arm lead goes on the right side, below the clavicle, at the junction of the right arm and the torso. Just that one there. My left arm goes in the same place on the left side. So below the clavicle, at that junction. And I'm going to put my leg leads on. So my right leg should go below the level of the umbilicus. My left leg on the same side, or on the opposite side on the left side, same location. Your V lead, you do have to landmark a little bit more for, so it needs to be the fourth intercostal space, right sternal border. So you actually have to get your hands on your patient and count down intercostal spaces to get to the fourth intercostal space, and that is where that electrode goes. Okay. At this point, you can cover your patient back up. Then you want to go to your monitor. So every monitor will have different defaults for the alarms, but you want to make sure that it's individualized to your patient. So I see that Margaret here has a heart rate of 80, so I want to check what her alarms are. So recognize that each of your monitors may be a little bit different, and the way that you adjust the alarms will look a little bit different. But for these monitors, you just tap on the heart rate, and then it will give you the option to adjust alarms. So I see that her alarms are set for 160, which is good for her. Her baseline is 80. The default on a lot of the monitors may be upwards of 150 for the tachycardia alarm and 50 for the bradycardia alarm, so adjust them to your patient's individualized needs. Once you're happy with your alarm settings, close it, and then make sure that you turn your alarm back on before you leave the room. One more thing I'd like to point out is that in some instances you may be required to put a 3-lead system on your patient. So for instance, if you were connecting them to a defibrillator, you may need to put them on. So these only have 3 wires, and they still get just as tangled as the 5-lead. So what you have for this type of monitoring is a left leg lead, a right arm lead, and a left arm lead. And they go in the same places as your 5-lead system. So it would just be a matter of switching those out. Well, thanks for watching the video, and remember to use this video in conjunction with your skills checklist, and you'll be connecting your patients up to cardiac monitoring in no time. Thank you.